classical, Spanish, Latin and jazz, and a bit of instrumental pop as well. That is South Africa's leading and award-winning guitar duo, CH2, who will make their debut at the Ederburg concert series in Paarl on Sunday, 26 July at 5 o'clock. Leon, Gropp and Corneille Hutten are here to tell us more about their upcoming performance as well as their albums, Soos in the ederburg, CH2 Live and Ping. Yeesh, a lot of practice went into the pronunciation of that. Gentlemen, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
You're making what we're saying is your debut there at Ederburg, but this is by far not your first time on a big stage or even in something incredible like that.
Yeah, no, the Ederburg series is actually, it's one of those where we do more of the classical stuff, where we normally sort of just go out and do a lot of stuff, like you mentioned, we do a lot of different genres. The Ederburg concert series in Paarl will sort of more focus on the classical stuff. So the one we just performed is a classical mix that we did with Bach's first cello suite and then Sting's Every Breath You Take. So that's the sort of stuff that people can expect there.
What goes into the music that you play? Because I mean, it's quite a wide range of genres that you pick from, and yet when you put it together, it works.
Well, what's interesting about the way that CH2 met and the way that we play is that Leon comes from a bit of an acoustic rock background. I started with classical guitar as a young boy, and the two guitars met where Leon is very strong in the rhythms, I'm strong in the melody, and with that way we started seeing what we can do. The idea with CH2 is to create as much sound as possible with only two guitars. So it's basically a full band sound. You try and create a lot of different textures, mimic some instruments as well. Leon does sort of percussion, kick drum when we start doing with the Latin stuff. So what's important is when the people watch us play is that everything is live. All the sounds you hear is live. We don't play with backing tracks. People always ask, where's the kick drum coming from? You know, where's this coming from? So that makes us very unique, and the style of play between us is basically a mixture of many different guitar styles, from the jazz to the Latin, Spanish, as you said, as well as the classical that we bring in. So the Ederburg concert series will specifically focus more on the classical and the Spanish Latin as well.
And you've touched on a little bit of what you're going to do, but what else can those who are attending the concert expect?
We'll do some of the classical standards, like the classical people will know Recuerdos de la Alhambra. It's a famous classical guitar piece. We're doing a very interesting mashup of Beethoven's Free Release and Metallica's Nothing Else Matters. So that's also, we like doing the sort of crossover, mixing a lot of different songs nowadays. So I think it's going to be a very interesting and laid-back afternoon. I think it starts at 5 in the afternoon, so it's going to be a wonderful evening. And we're heading down to Cape Town tomorrow, so we're looking forward to it always.
Two young guys, handsome, you know, you could do anything that you want to do. Why are you choosing to focus on this? Because I mean, other people would say, no, stick to pop, you know, or maybe rock. That's more your genre. That's more the image. Why are you choosing to dabble in this particular kind of music?
Well, first of all, we're too old.
Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah.
How old is too old? I'm looking at you and I'm putting it to like a 20s.
Yeah, 20s is fine.
Spring chicken.
Yeah. Now, what's amazing about what we do is obviously that it's unique in the first place. And no one else really does what we do. And it's funny because even the other day I laughed. Last year someone came to me after a festival, we performed and the crowd went wild. I think it was 2 years ago at Cospel in the Sun City. So you've got 40,000 people over 5 shows watching you. And someone came to me and said, when are you getting a singer? Yeah. And I'm like, no, sorry. We don't do singers. And the reason is simply because we're unique in what we do. We've got a unique sound. There's no language boundaries. So we sell from Japan to wherever. On iTunes, people identify with guitar a lot. And that makes it a great market for us. And instrumental music is a small market, and we're trying to broaden it for all the instrumentalists out there. So from that point of view, we'll always be doing what we do.
Yeah. In fact, I was going to ask about the market and how big it is in South Africa, but you've just touched on the fact that it's across the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's tough everywhere. I suppose we sort of want to champion instrumental music specifically in South Africa, and we've come a long way. It's just it's still a growing market, and people are getting more and more used to it, and they're enjoying the classical stuff as well. So we'll just keep on doing what we're doing.
And obviously you're doing something right. You guys won an award for it. Tell us about what kind of doors that has opened up for you.
Well, what's amazing is, I mean, we won our first SAMA award in 2012. The second one was in 2013 to Great Products. We mixed those albums in London with one of the biggest guys that the guy played drums for Eric Clapton, and he mixed for Sting and Vanessa Mae. So that was a couple of doors that opened. And then also the Lee Ritner Yamaha classical and flamenco guitar competition category that we won in America in 2011. So we've been very privileged. We've done a lot of hard work. It always takes hard work. I think that's the most important thing people need to know. But we don't make music to get awards. but it's amazing to receive them, to have the recognition, and it does open a lot of doors.
No, indeed. Leon, I'm going to leave you with the last word. Anything original that you guys compose? I mean, this is original in the fact that it is, you know, a fusion of all. But are you working on writing any of your own stuff?
Oh yes,
It's playing right now.
It's actually we love composing.
Yeah.
That's actually mainly what we do. Is we write. So I'd say 8 out of 10 songs we play is original stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much for joining us. Very, very lovely chatting to you, Leon, as well as Corneille, and they're from CH2. Quick ad break.